Hey everybody, and welcome back to Lindsay's Little Library. So I'm here today because we've got some really cool books coming out in February and I want to talk to you about them. I had of course meant to have this video up earlier, but we're just in time again. We're gonna go with it, right? All right, let's get started. So I think they're pretty spaced out throughout the month, decently. But yeah, I'm really super excited for a couple of these. Kind of hoping they might be or I was hoping they'd be some book of the month picks, but no game, which I have skipped my book of the month this month. I just nothing really stood out to me. I don't know. I'll probably regret it, but that's fine. Anyways, okay, first one I want to talk about is Someone Else's Life by Lynn Leo Butler. This comes out on the 1st, so it's already out. Sorry about that. So we have, let's see, A New Life in Paradise should have healed her wounds, but for a woman struggling to hold on to her family and her sanity, one stormy night could change everything. Blow by blow, Annie Lynn's life crumbles. Her dance studio goes bankrupt, her mother and beloved dog are gone the same year, then a terrible accident leaves her young son traumatized. So it's time for a change. Palm trees, mai tais, peace and quiet. Annie should be at ease and safe in her new home in Hawaii with her husband and son. She hopes proximity to her family can provide them all with a sense of belonging and calm, but soon items from her past start turning up. This is what got me. Her dog's collar, a bracelet that disappeared years ago, and she has the unnerving sensation that she's being watched. What? Reality begins to fracture and Annie's panic attacks return when during a brewing storm, a woman appears at her doorstep looking for shelter. Annie's relieved to have the company and feels an unexplainable bond to her visitor, but as the night progresses, Annie realizes the young woman is not a stranger. Their lives are inextricably intertwined and Annie might just lose everything. Who is this and who showed up and what is going on? Is it a ghost? Of course I'm going to think it's a ghost. We don't know. Next one I have is a Pam Jenoff book. I can't wait. It's called Codename Sapphire. Comes out February 7th. This is about a woman who needs to rescue her cousin's family from a train bound for Auschwitz. We have 1942. Hannah has narrowly escaped Nazi Germany after her fiance was killed. When her ship bound for America is turned away at port, she has nowhere else to go but to her cousin Lily, who lives with their family in Brussels. Fearful for her life, Hannah is desperate to get out of occupied Europe, but with no safe way to leave, she must return to the dangerous underground work that she left and thought she got out of. Seeking help, she joins the Sapphire Line, a secret resistance network led by a mysterious woman named Micheline and her enigmatic brother, Matteo. But when a grave mistake causes Lily's family to be arrested and slated to go to Auschwitz, Hannah finds herself torn between her loyalties. How much is Hannah willing to sacrifice to save the people she loves? And it's inspired by true stories. I love it. I love Pam Jenoff. She's so good. Next one I have is The House of Eve by Sequoia Johnson. She's the person who wrote The Yellow Wife, which I thoroughly enjoyed. This is coming out February 7th. 1950s in the Philadelphia, 15-year-old Ruby Pearsall is on track to become the first in her family to attend college in spite of having a mother more interested in keeping a man than raising a daughter. But a taboo love affair threatens to pull her back down into the poverty and desperation that she's basically been trying to get away from. Eleanor arrives in Washington, D.C. with ambition and secrets. When she meets the handsome William Pride at Howard University, they fall madly in love. But William hails from one of D.C.'s elite, wealthy Black families, and his parents don't let just anyone into their fold. Eleanor hopes that a baby will make her finally feel at home in William's family and grant her the life she's been searching for, but having a baby and fitting in is easier said than done. When those two stories collide, both Ruby and Eleanor, in the most unexpected of ways, Ruby and Eleanor will both make the decisions that shape the trajectory of their lives. What? I'm loving it. I'm excited. Next one we have is Bookworm by Robin Yeatman, February 14th. I do love books. I feel like I need to get it for myself. You know, happy Valentine's Day, Lindsay. We'll see. Victoria is unhappily married to an ambitious and controlling lawyer consumed with his career. Burdened with overbearing in-laws, a boring dead-end job she can't seem to leave, and a best friend who doesn't seem to understand her, she finds solace from the daily grind in her beloved books and the stories she makes up in her head. One day in a favorite cafe, she notices an attractive man reading the same talked-about best-selling novel that she is. A woman yearning for her own happy ending, Victoria is sure it's fate, and the handsome book lover must be her soulmate. There's only one small problem. She's already married. Frustrated and desperate to change her life, she retreats to the dark places in her mind and thinks back to all the stories she's ever read in hopes of finding a solution. She begins to fantasize about nocturnal trysts with cafe man in imaginative ways, like poison pickles that were inspired by Jane Smiley's A Thousand Acres, of getting rid of her not-so-great husband. It's all just harmless fun, right? Until one night when fiction and reality blur, and suddenly it seems Victoria is about to get everything she wished for. Or should she have wished for it? Interesting. Then we have The Baker's Man by Jennifer Mormon, February 14th again. Southern town of mystic water, magic is always in the wind and in the ovens. This just sounds sweet. Anna inherited several gifts from her late grandma: culinary superpowers, a bakery in a charming southern town, and a mysterious box with a note. Open the box when you need to. You'll know exactly when you do, and you'll know what to do with it. I love you. Thinking it's from her grandma. The night her presumed fiance crushes her dreams, Anna opens the box and finds magic sugar inside, along with a recipe to bake the perfect man. Encouraged by her best friend Lily, a heartbroken Anna sets out to do what she always does when she's feeling blue. She bakes. She hardly believes her eyes the next morning when a man, a breathing and rather handsome man in her bakery, and seems to know all of her likes and dislikes, her quirks and perfections. Elijah's everything she dreamed about, nothing she expected. Where did he come from? Is he real? And when he fashions his own ideas about what makes a good life, can she let him go? Sounds just magical and whimsical, and I'm here for it. And the last one I want to talk about, and this one again I'm really excited for, it's called The Woman and the Cure by Lynn Cullen, February 21st, historical fiction. So this is based on a true story. So it's 1940s and 50s in America, and polio is the dreaded disease that's going around. No one's life is untouched by this disease. It kills and paralyzes its victims, and it really focuses on children. Outbreaks of the virus across the country regularly put American cities in lockdown. We know what that's like. Some of the world's best minds are engaged in the race to find a vaccine, and the man who succeeds will be God. But Dorothy Hortzman is not focused on beating her colleagues to the vaccine. She just wants the world to have a cure. Applying the same determination that lifted her from a humble background as the daughter of immigrants to becoming a doctor, often the only woman in the room, she hunts down the monster where it lurks, in the blood. The discovery of hers and an error of a competitor catapults her closest colleague to a lead in the race. When his chance to win comes on a worldwide scale, she's asked to sync or validate his vaccine and to decide what is forgivable and how much should she sacrifice in the pursuit of the cure. Again, based on a true story. And I'm here for that. So those are some of the new books coming out in February. I'll have links to all of them in the description. Check them out. Excited about them. Will I get to them? I don't know. We'll see if I find them at the library. That's what I always do. Anyways, if there's any other books coming out in February that you're excited about, please leave them in the comments and I want to check them out. Otherwise, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.